There's an idea about trauma people don't know about. Trauma is the thing you cannot see, it's the thing you cannot talk about, it's the thing you cannot name, it's the thing that's always a struggle for you, no matter what. It's a struggle for you in relationships, it's a struggle for you when you wake up in the morning, when you're alone with yourself. It's this kind of hidden con that just follows you everywhere and all the time. Actually, about that, the what it pushes survival. You can think, what's wrong with that? I was just asked lately about who I was before, because I just unleashed myself from chains, literally, and I was asked, how are you before in terms of relationships, but applies to everything. And I said, you know, I was a certain way, but at the same time, I'm very biased, because I was not who, I was not, I was in prison somehow. I was still fighting for some, just to have one day come after another. I didn't have projections. I forced myself into projections. I forced myself into being just ambitious, into being determined, into being willing to be a good person, into all of these things. And at the same time, I had this very big problem, which was that as long as I would stay in my family environment, I would just undergo it way beyond what I could imagine. And that was very underrated. I would have never thought so, because you grow up, you're in your 20s, early 20s, and before that you gain some maturity as well, right? So you think you can you think you can do something. You go back and forth, you try new things, new approaches, and you always think, like any victim that didn't go crazy or did not repeat the abuser pattern, you always think like you can do something, that maybe you are responsible. And I was the youngest of the family, and of course, I mean, it's not only for these reasons, but for the reason that I'm the youngest of the family. But I was just thinking a lot that many things would be my fault. And the very hard thing was that I'm thinking of two things straight away. The first one was really hard to think about. It's that I was more loved by my mother than my sister was, and the second is that I suffered a little less in terms of near-death experiences than my family. So, I mean, I almost died 3 times in my life already, but I'm still here. So, one by one, the sister thing. One day my stepfather comes to me and it tells me, you're very angry at your sister. And that was maybe 5 years ago. So, and I found myself pretty mature about the path. I thought so. But it's way harder than what you can think. And he told me, your mother loves you way more than she loves your sister, and your sister actually suffers from that. And I blame a lot my family, somehow. I mean, there are other ones are always responsible for something, but at the same time, you are very responsible as well yourself. You're very responsible. You always have there is a criteria that you don't put in the equation in order to reflect on the situation. And down that path, you just realize that that's the the theory behind the movie behind the movie Mr. Nobody is that you picked your parents before you were born. I mean, it's quite esoteric at this point, but there's a lot of truth in that, even though it's pretty hard to end up at this point of the discussion with people in general. It really is hard, and so that thing with my sister really broke my heart, and that was before I would reconcile with her, and eventually 2 years ago just cut ties completely, for good. So much. My father was very distant and useless, as he is. He's a man who should have never had any children, actually, but things happen, and his parents are probably the worst and the most terrible and vile human beings I've ever met in my life. I mean, it's people you get to know through intimacy, and definitely they are in the top 10 easily. My mother suffered from many terrible accidents. She lost her father when she was 18. Her father was an alcoholic, and well, I was told he was a hero. My father was asthmatic, so he died. He was close to dying many times, and saved like many times by my mother actually, because she's good at this. She's good at a few things, and this included. And basically, I had like very quick experience when I was 10, then another one later on, and the third one was lately this year actually. 3 times I almost died, and so, but that was very temporary. Like I didn't stay for months in hospitals. When you fight evil, you just fight evil. Whether the devil spends some time at the hospital, you just fight it, and that's it. Because if he wants to ruin your life, well, you gotta defend yourself. So, and there is no such thing as virtue. Some people have not been through hard experiences and still are virtuous, and some people have been through the worst and are virtuous as well. That's the way of living. That's probably the path of your soul somehow. There are many things behind that. So I got asked, how were you before? And I mean, whether it was through what I suffered most from, which was heavy manipulation since I was a kid, from my mother, and later on from my sister, who's just repeating the pattern. I was always foggy. And foggy, I use that as a metaphor. You could say I was dizzy actually, but like I mean foggy in terms of life. Imagine your life like 24/7. Like you cannot see 2, 3, 4 meters ahead of you. You're just like continuously waiting for something different that will come and change this fucking context you're going through, and you always have a problem. You always either feel guilty or being accused of things you've never done, etc. And you resist. You're 12, you resist. You're 15, you resist. You're 18, you resist. You're 20, keep resisting, and you give another chance at 22, and you resist. And at some point, you're like 25, 26, 27, and you're like, I'm done with that. Like and and all along the way, fighting this programmation that wasn't you. That's why beyond the matrix everybody's talking about, that's just like, between 4 worlds with persecutors and abusers 24/7, and undergoing that and just promising yourself you'll never raise your hand on them. And I never raised my hand on them. But some people go beyond. They definitely go beyond that. Like, that at some point, to defend yourself, you attack. And maybe I've been pretty unfair with my words in my life. That feeling when you get asked and you have to tell someone, there is no manual for that. You got, and I'm still learning about that. But I'm like, whoa, just unleashed from the chains. Probably take some time with that. Probably will. Yeah. A good conclusion I will draw is that after I started doing this, I was told through someone that I make my mother's life terrible because of certain things I say online. And what's funny is that when I was a kid, I was responsible for her sadness and depression. When I was a teenager as well. When I was a young adult as well. When I left, I was still responsible. When I came back, I was still responsible. When I left for good, I was still responsible for the last 2 years. And now that I'm just have the balls to expose these people who drive their kids' life crazy, and it's not only parents, many different kinds of abusers and psychopaths and sociopaths out there, manipulative people that drive people's life crazy. I'm like, still there, accusing me of making you suffer. It's quite a good sign, but responsible for shit. And I'm not even blaming them, because I'm just analyzing what led me to that. If you want to know more about that, subscribe.